started from this interesting situation of a teenager wanting to seek justice for the death of his father from an older, mature man. So that kind of dynamic between a teenage boy and an older man who somehow finds himself under control or of such a young boy, and his life is so affected by such a young boy, was like the starting point, I think, before it developed to the rest of it.
No, I had such a great time working with Yorgos on The Lobster, and I read the script and found it even more disturbing than I found The Lobster to be, which initially on reading The Lobster I was kind of perturbed and confused, but ultimately moved, and it was the same with this. Although I just did find the material so weighty and dark, and oh my god, and the whole process of making it as well was one that was fraught with there was just a pervasive and consistent tension, I think there is through the film, but in reading the script again there was through the script, and in shooting the film I had a great time working with Yorgos the second time, but it's tricky material, you know. It's kind of, not that I could ever say acting is the toughest job in the world, but as far as acting goes, the material lends itself to a kind of a certain strictness, and Yorgos has a certain formality, which is his own design as a filmmaker, so it was kind of a no-brainer for me to jump in and do a second film with him. Yeah. We saw a surgery take place, an open heart surgery. The film opens on a beating heart, and that was shot in the hospital, and we were all there for it, and it was kind of upsetting and amazing and humbling to see, but they have playlists, these surgeons. They come in with their iPhones and they put on like Metallica and shit while they're, you know, it's a bit our house music, you know, while they're treating you like a cadaver, and but it's also, I mean, I don't know how these men maintain any semblance of humility, and I don't know if they do, and it's not my place to say whether they should or shouldn't, but it's a, you know, you're playing God. It's a very, very consequential way to make a living.
Certain directors, very few that I go, I just would love to be a part of your vision, a part of your world, and I love what he does, and I'm a huge believer in his voice, cinematic voice, and just to be a part of it is an honor.
I mean, there's the environment from which the work grows is a really important thing, I think, for us as actors, and every single director I've worked with in the last 20 years has a very particular, based on who they are as human beings, based on what they want to put out creatively, they have a very particular approach and a very particular energy that they create on the set, but I don't know of an energy on a set that's as distinct as the energy that Yorgos creates, and it's not one that's tyrannical. There's no voices raised. It's very peaceful, but it's very about work, and it's very about getting there and getting the work done. It's beautifully paced, but there is a sense of form and structure that allows you to recognize the, not confines, but the parameters of the world that the story is existing within. It really does. So almost the tone of the film exists between cut and action. It kind of stays around that neighborhood all the time, which is not to say we don't have a laugh, because it's quite heady material as well, but it's somewhat serious.
But I also like that it's a smaller crew, that you move in, that it feels to me what filmmaking, the type of filmmaking
very intimate.
I love making.
It's very intimate.
Which is, it feels like a small group of people that are working together to try something, and I love that sort of, it's almost not laissez-faire, but there's a show up and let's try it, and it's funny as well. It's not like, we laugh, and there's a sense of embracing life at the same time as making the film, which I enjoy. And you know, if we could work all day and all night, we probably would. And if you could work, if there wasn't all the, you know, it would be like, oh, we're going to take a break now because we're not kind of getting it. Let's come back to it. I like the, I suppose, the way in which it flows, which is very much comes from Yorgos and the team that he puts around him.